Kampung Quop, a beautiful Bidayuh village about 20 kilometers from Kuching. Located on the foothills of Quop Hill, it is very scenic. Rich in history and myths, there are interesting stories about this village. One of the most famous stories is Batu Tipire means split rock in the Bidayuh language of Kampung Quop. Located in front of St. James Church and Primary School, as you approach it, it looked like any ordinary boulder in the area. Measuring about 5.5 meters across and 5 meters in height, the uniqueness of this rock can only be seen when you walk further up until you notice a big gap in the middle of the rock, as if it has been sliced into two parts. This unique geographical landmark gave rise to stories shrouded in myths. Local folklore credited the warrior Bai Mandai of bringing his followers from Sentah to settle in Quop Hill. Later on, another warrior, Bai Rimau, brought the people to settle near the split rock at the foothills after discovering the rock and had a dream that the guardian spirit wanted him and his followers to settle there. This was especially so after the villagers suffered two calamities of a cholera epidemic followed by a smallpox outbreak causing a lot of deaths. All was well after that. The Anglican Church started a mission here in the 1860s with the consecration of St. James Church in 1865. Stories started to emerge about how the guardian spirit was unhappy and created problems for the villagers. Even the priest at that time, Peter Howes, wrote in his book In a Fairground about strange noises at night, but was never able to detect the source of the noises. There were also reports of people praying to the rock asking for lucky numbers. Anyway, fast forward to present day, the rock is no more than a geological attraction that fascinates many visitors. And I am one of them. Recently, I made a trip to Kampung Quop to have a look at the rock. So let's take a closer look at the split rock of Kampung Quop. One thing that struck me is that this rock is full of veins. The vein runs through the entire rock, but especially obvious on the upper part. At close range, it can be seen that the surface of the rock is not even, and the color of the rock also varies. The gap between the two halves of the rock is about 30 cm at the upper end and progressively narrowed down to about 10 cm at the base of the rock. The steep walls along the split reminds me of a King Kong movie, with the protagonist running along a ravine with steep cliffs on both sides. This is looking skywards. Looking from the church and school compound with the sun behind me, the rock is recorded in nicer color. Some hardy plants can be seen growing on this side of the rock. Even in the gap, some plants can be found on the side nearer to the church and school, but not on the other side. I wonder why. Can split rocks be found elsewhere? In Bung Muan, there is a boulder called Batu Tipire, which also means split rock in the Bidayu language of that area. This one has a gap wide enough for people to pass through. In fact, all climbers will have to pass through this gap to reach the peak of the mountain. Split rocks are also found in other parts of the world. This one is in Devil's Marbles Conservation Reserve in Australia. The fascination with split rock occurs throughout the world. This is due to the mystery of how it was formed and its stunning beauty. This is Split Apple Rock in New Zealand, another famous tourist site. Probably the most beautiful of all is the Al Nasla in Saudi Arabia. The beautiful color, the perfect split, plus some ancient drawings on the rock make it one of the most famous rock in the world. So maybe we can also promote our Batu Tipire to attract more tourists. Thank you for watching this video.